This is a Ferrograph Logic 7 open reel tape recorder, which is a half-track machine, and it runs at 15, 7.5 and 3 3/4 inches a second. It's being sold as not working because it has problems with its rubber idler wheel tyres, and the pinch wheel here is also in the same state, which is very soft and gooey, which is a fault due to the incorrect choice of rubber by the folks at Ferrograph. So what is this? Well, it's basically the last of the Ferrograph line, or virtually, and it was a desperate attempt to introduce some kind of electronic controls into what had always been a very manually operated machine. So it does have logic controls here. I can run the device. This particular one has, strangely enough, Dolby noise reduction, despite the fact that it's a half-track machine. It's got Dolby noise reduction with a multiplex filter. If you happen to be recording FM radio transmissions, not quite sure why you'd want to do that, but anyway. There's source and tape monitoring, and there's even bass and treble controls, because this does have amplifiers built into it, left and right channel amplifiers. We'll also take microphones, which I seem to recall were balanced but not necessarily, with no provision for phantom power. So I guess it's a case of, if you recognise this and you know what Ferrographs are all about, you might be interested in this from the point of view of breaking down for spares, or maybe even finding some replacement idler tyres and pinch wheel, and getting it running as a refurbished model. So there we are, that's the Ferrograph Logic 7. Just take a quick squint on the top of this thing. Before we do that, we'll just force it into some movement, so we can put it into a wind mode. We have to pretend that there's tape in there. I'm not going to do this with tape in, because it might wreck the tape. What you see is back tension here, and you can spin the thing from winding fully in one direction through to winding fully in the opposite direction with minimal back tension there. This was a standard feature on these later Ferrographs, so it allowed you to do neat spooling backwards and forwards, because you could even wind tape much slower than its fastest speed, which will give you a nice even pancake on the reel. What else is there? A little lid there to shield the playback head from ambient magnetic fields. So we've got erase, record and playback heads here. They seem to be in reasonable condition, and I don't think this machine has done an awful lot of service in its life. It was active in the early to mid 70s, and we'll just have a quick look at the top, show all the connections on the top of this thing. This is the top plate of the recorder. So you've got line input, and the thing is strangely arranged in a far separated symmetrical, a sort of anti-symmetrical arrangement, which makes it very difficult to run normal twin cables to it. You end up with splitting the things, a real nuisance. So line inputs on the outside, and then outputs at low level, and 600 ohm, 8 to 16 ohm speaker, so you can actually plug in external speakers, which I believe cut out the internal speakers when they're running. I don't know what the auxiliary socket does, I have no idea. Loads of fuses in here. You know, this is a real British traditional design here. 24 volt, low tension, UT, high tension, don't know. And power supply, the main power supply fuse. each of those fusing different parts of the internal power supplies. And at least there's an IEC standard main socket on the top. So there we are. That is a T622DH, which probably means Dolby high speed. And finally a view of the side panel of the equipment, showing one side with one of its speaker grills, plastic speaker grill there.